Okay, so how do we bend copper tubing? Well, we have our tools. We have our tubing bender. How do we bend copper tubing? Well, we have our tool, this thing, but this pipe bender or tubing bender will only go up to 180 degrees. What we want to make is something that goes all the way around and then back down the direction that it came. So we need to not just do 180 and not just 360, but actually 180 plus 360, which is 540 degrees. So we need to make 1.5 turns. So we can't do that with this. We could start it with this, but we wouldn't be able to make it all the way around. So enter the chair. And this is a special chair. This chair has a foot missing off the leg. I've kept this chair around for years because it is useful. So what we want to do is we want to put a mark, all right, at the center of our tubing. And so the reason we do that is so we know where to make our pulls. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put that mark on our chair. In this chair, it's helpful if someone holds it here and pulls that way, but we can do it. Now we're going to take that mark, put it right here on the edge of the chair, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out. I'm going to keep a lot of tension on this. So you can see I'm pulling out, my hands are kind of slipping, and as I do this, I'm also going to pull the tubing towards me. Start to rotate it around. And as you can see, I'm starting to make a curve and I'm not kinking the tubing. Now, this is where things get a little bit hard to do solo, so I'm using my chest. I'm gonna cross my hands over when I get here and keep pulling, and I have to make sure I'm keeping this tubing glued to the edge of this. All right, and now I'm pulling away out like this, and as you can see, I'm making that pretty good. Now when I get here, it's kind of hard to pull out and push, so I'm going to rotate it around and bring it back towards myself. There we go. There we go. No kinks. Okay. As you can see, no kinks. Nice and smooth. Almost got a little kink right here, but that's probably because this is reused copper from last year that I straightened and then rebent. And then what can I do with the rest of this? Well, since I want to get this to go out of my boat like this, with this little S curve, right? Kind of goes like this and like this. Well, this is where using this tool comes in really handy. I can make really nice, smooth turns with this. This is kind of fun to learn how to use a new tool. So I can do that. I can also make the curves for the spinny boat with that. If you shove the spinny boat copper out a little bit, then you can use the tool to make some curves. And that's kind of a fun thing to do. So, that's the deal. I used it to make the curves on my little mini machine here that you can see. All right, it worked out really nice. It was really fast. It's pretty fun. And that's the deal. All right, that's how you make this boiler. All right, hope that helps.